Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's it going out there? Hey, can I be kid in a candy store here real quick? Can I do this? You guys know that we're financial advisors. We build our own everything. As we grow, as customers grow, we grow. That's what we like to say, where we don't have fees and things like because we talked to you or did planning and stuff. Really, as you grow, we grow as a company, so it benefits us to help you grow. And as we grow, we spend money on data and development. Well, that is all paying off here because we are now officially, let me see, I'm going to show you real quick. I won't take too long. Now we're working on releasing this out just little by little. We're just testing it out here. It's officially working. Our clients can now go into, or will soon be able to go into their accounts, and it works. You can see your entire account. We control everything now. We don't have to use other software like other advisors do. We control your cash accounts, your performance here, contacts with us. We're working on being able to work back and forth inside of your account. You can see the positions you have. You could see our classes. You could see all your recent transactions, whatever they may be in there. You can view your holdings. Let's say you want to see, well, hey, what's in the dividend fund there? What's going on? Where you own it, how many you have. You could see the value of it and all that stuff, the target weighting. We're going to be building in all kinds of cool stuff to where you can actually see why we make changes to the different positions that we have and why that's the case. You'll be able to sort all your accounts. And really cool, question we get a lot, hey, how much have I contributed to my IRA and how much more can I go? Now we've actually put that in there where you've got this person has test accounts got $34.50 to contribute for 2020. You know how much to put in there. You can sort by year and all that good stuff. Yes. Oh man, I can't tell you and I did it right there. I can't tell you the work in progress that has been. And you know I'm going to be sharing that a little bit more and just kind of teasing it along the way. Super excited about that because nobody else has that. We can now control anything that has to do with your dough and work to build even more inside of it. So I love it, I love it, I love it. And because of that, I'm going to give you guys a little something extra today. We're going to be doing some teaching, doing some talking about the markets here and showing you how everything's going. So let's do it. Off to the right-hand side of your screen, you see the stock market. Up back to highs, basically. I'm going to go over here. You've got the S&P back to highs here. First time since my birth year, if you can guess the birth year, that we've had 2 double-digit gains in a given month throughout the year. Would be April this year and November, this November that just happened there. It is not normal. I showed you the research page in our sort of back looking at the data report there that we had. We did that yesterday with you there, but other than that, we used the SPY. The SPY, if you know, is the original ETF. This is the very first one. It happens to track the S&P 500. Goes back to 1993. So if you look back to 1993, you'll notice it's not normal to have double-digit gains inside of a month, but you've got that there. If you were to look at the actual S&P, you've got to go back to the 1930s to find other periods where we had 10% or greater gains in a given month. Now, as far as the technical pattern is concerned here, we're kind of slowly basing at highs. It's not really a base. I don't want to say that's consolidation or anything, but we're sort of building cause for the next move higher, right? We've got series of higher lows here. We've got very light down days, and any down days like yesterday, they've retraced off of those lows. So pretty optimistic. If you're a bull, you like what you see. If you're a bear, you're kind of hoping for some big news event or whatever that would ruin those plans by the bulls there. If we go over to the Dow, there we go. Dow sitting almost at highs as well, looking really strong. It wasn't the better performer today, but it did okay overall. If you look at the Dow performance, here's something new you might know. If we break down the average performance of the Dow over the months, and we look back 100 years to 1920, just to make it a nice even time there. You've got January, good performing month there. Some quiet around February and March. You got some little spikes over here as we get into the summer. September is historically the worst month for the Dow overall. And as you get into December, you can see, well, that's one of the better months for the Dow. So we're expecting that, what they call Christmas time rally and all that good stuff. So far, we are making progress towards that, but we're not done. You'll notice that the December for the Dow is also historically the most positive month, 73% of the time. In other words, 73 of the last 100 years. Well, it's a little less than that because we're not counting this year. Anyway, 73% of the time, December is positive. The average gain, 1.43%. And that stems from the Christmas rally. What is the Christmas rally or Santa Claus rally, as they now say? This is it. here is a composite chart of the, let me go over a little bit. There you go, just so you can see it better. Composite chart, which is essentially the average performance of the first day of December over the last 20 years, then the average performance of the second day, then the average of the third and fourth. We just added them all up together, put them on a chart, and you can see that for the first half of the month of December, not a whole lot. You could argue a little up, a little bit down. So we're not expecting a rocket ship for the first part of December, although it is 2020. I guess anything's possible, but we historically see a bit of chop in the beginning of the month for the Dow. The Santa Claus rally kicks in towards the end of the year. This is not the traditional definition of the Santa Claus rally, but this is where it starts to kick in towards the end of the mid to end of the month there. So right around the 15th, you can see the momentum pick up as we head into the end of the year, which leads you to the average gains of the 1.43% there. So that's kind of a long way of going about it. Just want to have some fun there and share some different data with you. I'll go over to the NASDAQ here to wrap up our index discussion here. You got the NASDAQ sitting at highs. I believe it was the best performer today, 1.6% gain on the day there. Now up 43% year to date. That's odd. Shared that with you a while back there. That's a little bit unique, so something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do FinTips videos with short sort of financial videos there to help you, usually wrapped around planning or investing of some kind there. Monday, we did how much to save in a gap account if you're planning on retiring early. That actually comes up quite a bit. Tomorrow, we're going to do tax loss harvesting, and we're going to focus on an actual real-life account that has $800,000 in it and shows a capital gain of, I believe, about $2,200, a realized capital gain in the account. Happens to have gains of over $100,000, so we're going to work through some scenarios there to show how we would do some tax loss harvesting with the least amount of dollars. Real geeky stuff there. And on Friday, we'll get you thinking over the weekend, leaving me nasty comments. I'm going to make an argument for maybe should you not pay off your mortgage, but share data with you so that instead it's not just my opinion. So we'll take a look at that. All right, we're going to go over to our sector breakdown here for today. I'm sorry if I'm talking a little bit fast and seem a little bit excited, because I am. We got our own dashboard. This is another tool that we actually have. And we just kind of got set up. We're still tweaking a little bit, but this looks at the overall sectors of the market. You know, I like to look at the sectors of the S&P. Up here at the top, you've got the 11 sectors of the S&P, and then down here, you've also got the 11 sectors. Performance by day, sorted that way in the beginning. You can see today, communication services was your best performing sector for the day. I'll say that today, most everything was positive, but it's sort of spread out. Right? It wasn't one of those days where every single thing just blasted off and went for highs and you found that you missed out on everything. Just kind of a weird day where everything was spread out doing its own thing. Broad rallies across the board, but if we go into communication services, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we go into communication services, taking a look, we're seeing that the sector is sitting at new highs today. Basically a broad rally with almost every single stock in the sector higher on the day. If we look at the big gainers, big contributors to the gains today, that's going to be the normal stocks that we were used to seeing there. Your Facebook down here. You got Google or Alphabet, the two classes of stock. You got Netflix and then Comcast coming in what would be a fourth place finish if you don't count the Alphabet there. Facebook, your biggest gainer on the day. If you take a look at the performance of Facebook, well, finally waking up, right? Getting outside of this 2.5 week funk that it's been in. Very strong day and closing near the highs of the day if you happen to be looking over at Facebook. Also, all of its peers sitting at the highs today as well. I want to look at Comcast here real quick because Comcast had a good day, reversing almost everything from yesterday. I would still maintain that Comcast has a little bit of room to pull back if it wants to pull back. But today, a nice little strong day there. Moving over to financials, and I'll show you the reason we're talking about financials. It's second best performer today, 1.5%. If we look at the financials for the day, I'm going to use the 6-month chart. It reversed everything from the intraday trading of yesterday. So nice reversal there. Basically, the big banks today were your big contributors, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, etc. If you're looking at those, it was also basically a broad rally. See over here on the left, you've got your lower weighted stocks in the sector. If I get out of the way from that pop-up there, you can see that basically it was just a broad rally across the board. Your weakness today came from the exchanges and insurers. So if we look at exchanges here like S&P Global, They've been in the news here lately for some acquisitions there. You got Moody's in the mix as well. Those were really your only negative ones today. They happen to be in the same industry, so just moving a bit together there. If we go to tech, tech's an interesting one. Got to look over there. Third place performer today. Tech moving back to highs, also above this sort of this little range in here. It was basically a broad rally, but I do want to point out that it was semiconductors again that were leading the way. You can see some of them listed on the bottom here. You got Micron Technologies blasting off to new highs. Lam Research also doing the same, looking nice and strong. Qualcomm in the mix as well. All of those semiconductors really standing out, and you can see that up here as we've highlighted its peer groups with the bigger circles overall. Hey, one more. Let's do consumer discretionary, just because I like to look at this sector here. Up to highs overall here today. I want to point out one thing. You can sort by quarter. Right, so we can say, what's the biggest contributor to the gains in the consumer discretionary space over the last quarter? You'd never guess. You can't possibly guess. It's General Motors. General Motors, the biggest contributor with a 50% gain just this quarter, in the fourth quarter here so far. That's incredible, right? Amazon doesn't even contribute as much, and it's much more heavily weighted in consumer discretionary. So found that interesting there. Just thought I'd point that out. What do you think? Think that's interesting? You tell me. I am going to move on over to our watch list here today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go over here. You can see the charts. You can see a couple lists of symbols. What we're going to do is just for fun. I also have a research post on this posted in our research site. If you happen to be interested, it helps us out. It helps us further expand and everything. Go to our research site, jazzwealth.com/research. If you can't be a customer, it's $13 a month. If you are a customer of Jazz Wealth, it's free. We include everything and anything that we ever do in the future for free for you. But if you can't join us or don't want to, no problem. You can still participate in the research site there. And one of the posts that you're going to see today is a breakdown of some of the best performers in December. Now we're looking back. I understand that looking back does not always justify what forward returns will be, but it gives you a hint of how seasonal stocks like to perform. As you might imagine, retail stocks or things like that do well towards the end and the beginning of the year and all that good stuff. So it's just kind of a fun thing to look back on. So I'm going to start here with some of these symbols, and we're going to just dive through it. I've got a little cheat sheet of the actual image. I also did it differently on the research site if you're one of our members. Instead of going horizontal, I tried a vertical sort of way to display the data. I kind of like it. I don't know. Leave me your feedback. Let me know what you think there. But first off, we're going to go to Cleveland Cliffs here. It's been a beast here lately. So one of the better performers through the month of December. 65% of the time, it is positive with a median gain of 4.97%. Again, the data's on the research site if you like. Royal Caribbean, thought that was interesting. That this is one of the better performers. Also 65% of the time positive. A median gain of 5.14%. It's one of the most heavily shorted stocks in the S&P 500 right now. Yet December tends to be a good month for it, so I found that kind of interesting. Mosaic lately just blasting off here, maybe a little short covering, I don't know, but 70% of the time it is positive in the month of December. Median gain 5.23%, average gain 6%, and if we take a look, the last, when it's down on this Mosaic, when it has a bad December, it's bad. Right, so that'd be the takeaway from this one here. 2018 down 18%, 2015 down 12%. You get double-digit losses when Mosaic is down in December, but median gain still averages, over the last 20 years, still gives you a gain there. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's something to look at there. We'll see. Helmerich Payne. All right, going over to energy. A couple energy names on the list here. 75% of the time, it is positive through the month of December. Interestingly, with the momentum and the run-up that it had last month, November, whenever that happens, the momentum tends to spill forward. So you've got a double reason to be excited there for maybe Helmerich Payne. Like I said, 75% of the time it's positive. Median gain 6.46% if you're looking forward there. Host Hotels. Not one that we look at a whole lot. It's obviously done well, breaking out of those lows, rallying with the rest of the beaten down stocks for the year, those virus-sensitive stocks. Got a 3% gain on the day today. If we look at Host Hotels, 75% of the time, it is positive, 6.4% median gain. What else did we have? Did we put Cabot on there? Got a whole list on the research site. But if you look at Cabot Oil, in a downtrend here, rather interesting that it's already pulled back. Only 60% of the time is it positive in December, but a decent median gain, 6.2%. I would argue here that if you're looking at something like this, number one, it didn't really participate with Energy's very impressive November gains. That bothers me, right? What's the deal? What's going on there? Also, when Cabot Oil has a bad December, it's nasty. They have some nasty down months, 11%, 10%, 14, 13. Something's a little bit odd here. So I like to point those out too when we see them. Cal-Maine Foods, I would also say, is the same thing. Maybe an acquisition. Nope, I don't think so. Anyways, been a bit sideways here, a little bit quiet, 60% of the time positive in the month of December. The last 3 Decembers have been down, right? So it's going on a bit of a losing streak there and has been for the last 3 years, 2017, 18, and 19. We'll see. Interestingly, each year it's gotten a little bit better. 2017, 10%. 2018, only down 9%. 2019, only down 1%, almost 2%. So is this the year it turns positive? We'll see. Anyways, that is your watch list for the day. Just kind of interesting there and tying into our research site if you want a full breakdown or see more details about that. I'll let the stream catch up here for a minute while we talk about stocks in the news with my stuff. And what else? Then we'll take your questions, see what we can do there. Okay, stocks in the news here today. You got Amazon. Ta-da. Amazon says that if you're an independent business on Amazon, selling stuff, whatever you have there, whether you're using them for distribution or not, they said that the sales had increased 60%. Did you see a 60% increase in your sales if you're selling on Amazon there? Kind of interesting. Nonetheless, the stock had 1.6% gain on the day. Moving on. United Healthcare says that its 2020 earnings will be above forecast. Will be above forecast there. Guidance was a little bit lower for 2021. People still didn't care. They said, all right, stock was a little bit higher. That's probably why you saw a pullback there when they kind of confirmed their guidance throughout the day. I can't say for sure. Okay, moving on over to ExxonMobil there. The CEO basically had a handful of comments that he came out with today, but he said overall business is improving for them, looking good overall with all kinds of great things to say. I think there was a handful of upgrades on the day as well for ExxonMobil, and so helping out energy after its good month there. What else do we have? I don't know if you care about this kind of stuff, but the NASDAQ says that if you want to list on the NASDAQ, we are going to require that you include 1 female and 1 minority on your board. I think California does something like that as well, but the NASDAQ came out and said that is going to be a rule change for us. I believe it starts, they had a handful of updates on this, but I believe it starts in the first next year there for new companies. They're calling it the board diversity rule. So if you're thinking about going on the NASDAQ, hopefully you fit within those rules there. And then we got Tesla. Tesla there sitting at highs. It's getting added to the S&P 500. And yesterday I'd said, I don't know actually if they're going to be doing this all in one shot or if they're going to do it in stages. They decided they're going to do it all in one shot. December 21st, right around a week low volume time of the year. That's going to be exciting if you ask me. So we'll see how that goes. I'll take your questions if you happen to have any while I read off earnings for tomorrow. Five Below, Guess, Okada, PVH, that's Ralph Lauren, Snowflake, and Zscaler. You've also got dividends, Home Depot, $1.50, Lincare, 96 cents, Qualcomm, 65 cents. That'll take you there. Let's see what we've got. I'm not getting into that. I just report the news and tell you what the stocks do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You like Digital Realty. Let's see what we got there. DLR. So if you like pullbacks, and I'm one of those guys, I like pullbacks. I'd rather not chase momentum. I'd like to buy a discount. That's just my makeup. I think you like it, right? This is one where you don't have that so much of the virus sensitivity like a normal REIT would. REIT space has been a little bit out of favor lately, and this has been one of the bigger gainers in the mid to long term there. So you can understand a little bit of longer term profit taking, rebalancing, tax loss harvesting, whatever it may be. And so I like the pullback, to be honest. I have no argument there. Oh yeah. With the House voting on a bill to delist Chinese companies not allowing audits, is that a major cause for concern with Alibaba? They are not voting to delist the Chinese companies. That is not the case. It is, look at the details of that. So no concerns there. That is not the vote. It's tomorrow, by the way, but that is not the vote that is coming up there. What do you think of the sell-off of Salesforce after earnings there? Well, you've got anytime the acquirer announces, you typically see a little bit of a sell-off. I think it has something to do with that. Did they confirm the Slack merger? I think they did confirm it just after hours here, so I'm looking at the news. Yeah, $27.7 billion, so that's become official for them. Stock's trading basically $10 lower than the close, $231. Yep, I like it. I like it. Okay, well, sorry, I got a little distracted there. Snowflake comes out tomorrow. Did I mention that? Still expecting a loss on Snowflake. Yep. I don't think anybody expects any different. Any opinion on special dividends for companies when they raise debt? Do I have any, more specifically, any opinions on when they do that? So for me, I might prefer a way that a company does their business, but I have no say in it. We're not that big. One day when we get like that big and we own a position that's so large that now we get a say, yeah, kid can dream. I love it. Will the COVID vaccine make a difference? Yeah. Yeah, you mean like generally? Yeah. So I think what you mean is in the stock market there. So a lot of it's been priced in. Moderna, of course, has got to be an obvious one. That's been priced in, that the vaccine's coming. And they're the front runner in terms of investors being the most optimistic. So Moderna gets that. And that's just because of refrigeration, transportation, and distribution is a lot less troublesome than Pfizer. They've got a bit to work on there. But I think a lot of that's been priced into biotech stocks. Any of the names like Pfizer, Moderna, or the licensees that are involved in that. So I do think it makes a difference, but I also think it's too late to go chasing things like that, if that was your question. Yep. I love it. Guys, I'm so excited, right? You know what it takes to have your own like dashboard and control everything? Man, you know, I just feel like you watched your kid grow up. You know, that's awesome. More on that to come, actually. But and we will be taking beta testers on that. But if you're a customer and you want to be a beta tester of the dashboard, just make sure you're ready to be picked on, right? We need to make sure this is accurate, looks good, and it works. So we don't want people to just test it out because they want to see it. We'll be looking for feedback. If you don't think you want to give feedback, then that's okay. Wait till we get it all dialed in. We'll get it out to you. I'm going to wrap it up there and get out of the way. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us here. You know the thing where you hit the button and the thumbs up does its thing? You got a minute? Just hit the button? All right. See you.